How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So there's actually a really cool thing in the actual Indigo disc, which is once you guys have upgraded and invited all of the different, I guess, coaches, you can call in special coaches. Once you've called in all of them, or once you call a coach in, you basically need to battle them 3 times. Now, what will actually happen is the following, right? If you've battled a coach, or invited them, 3 times. If you invited a coach 3 times, what will happen is that they will offer a trade to you. And when they offer that trade, you'll be able to be given a free Pokemon. That Pokemon that is given to you is very specific, right? But you don't have to give them anything specific in return. You can trade them literally any Pokemon. So I quickly want to show you which things you can receive. And these are all the different characters and what they will specifically give you. Starting things off, we have somebody like Katie. Now, Katie will give you a cute little combi. That's the first thing she gives you. So, yep, literally just invite her 3 times and then she will offer this trade for you. Next up, we have, of course, Brassius. In terms of him, though, he offers you a Brassius Sunflora. Same thing, invite him 3 times and he'll give that to you as well. Next up, we, of course, have none else than the myth, the legend, Iono. She'll give you a Magnemite. Again, invite her 3 times, and that's pretty much what she will hand over to you. Next up, of course, we're going to be looking at some of the other guys. We've got ourselves Kofu. He will give you a Veluza. So he literally just give you a Veluza Pokemon. You guys know Veluza is not really anything crazy. But yeah, that's the Pokemon that he will trade you. Next up from here, though, we have Larry. Larry would hand over actually his Dunsparce. He will give you that one. I don't know if he's giving the literal one he has, but, you know, it is what it is. So that's that one. Next trade is going to be Rhyme. Like I said, to do these, you literally just need to invite them 3 times. But these are all the gym leaders, right? Because you might be wondering, okay, well, I've done the gym leaders. What about the rest now? Well, we have also Tulip. She has Philittle. She will give you that. Moving on, we also have the next one, which is the last gym leader, which is going to be Grusha, which will give you a Citotl. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I get more people to show up? Well, to get more people to show up, you need to have done this with all these characters, right? You need to have invited all these, you need to have invited them 3 times and battled all of them. And also, make sure you've completed all the post-game in the previous stuff, like Paldea, right? Make sure you've done all the post-game stuff, done all the classes with all the teachers, done all the Ace Tourney stuff. If you've done all of that, and then you do all 3 of these invites on all the 8 gym leaders, guess what? You're going to get a few more characters to show up. In this case, you're going to be able to get characters like these guys. For example, you're going to be able to get Dendra, one of the teachers, to show up. She will give you a Meditite. Once you've got that, you can move on to the next one, which is the trade with Miriam. She will give you a Marini, right? That's pretty clean. Not too bad, not going to lie. Next up, we're going to be also able to get a Gimmighoul from Rhyfort. Rhyfort's going to give you a Gimmighoul if you invite her in and talk to her or deal with her 3 times. Moving on, and next up, we have another Pokemon. It's going to be Saguaro, who's going to give you a Hatterene. So if you talk to him, he'll give you his Hatterene. So pretty straightforward, not too complicated to understand. Next up, though, who is it going to be? Well, it's going to be him, the man himself, Salvatore. So Salvatore is going to give you his Meowth. I think he already kind of gave you something similar, but there you go. Next up, though, the other trade is going to be none else than Rockruff. Time's going to give you a Rockruff in here. So that's pretty solid as well. Moving on from the Rockruff, we have another teacher. It is going to be the man himself, Jacques, who gives you a Gulpin. Not too complicated. Moving on, I think from him, we have Clavel. Who, of course, if you've done all the quests with Clavel, he will show up as well. And, of course, if you complete all the teachers, they will just, you know, they will just make other characters show up. But Clavel will give you a Palmo. Moving on from Clavel, though, we have the Elite Four members. Now, for the Elite Four, you guys will have Pokemon like, for example, Rika's Wooper, which will show up. In this case, she will trade with you. You can also have Poppy, who, once you've invited her, will trade you a Tinkertuff. So that's pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy with that one. Moving on, the next Elite Four member, of course, is going to be Hassel. He's going to give you a Arctibax. So you see, you know, Larry already showed up once. He's not going to show up again. Only one time in this case. And finally, of course, for the champion squad, we have, of course, the champion herself, who will give you a Glimmet. So there you go. That is Geta. She will give you exactly that. Moving on from them, though, we do have a few more characters that will give you stuff. Like, for example, your friends can show up. So Arvin can show up, and he will give you a Squavit, specifically his Squavit. You can also get yourself your hands on another one, which after him is going to be, of course, our friend Penny. She gives you a Eevee, of course, her signature Pokemon. After her, though, we do also have Nemona, who will give you a Tauros. So we'll just give you a regular, you know, Paldean Tauros. After that, you also have Crispin, who can give you a Crispin Magby, which is pretty clean. Now, for these guys, though, you know, you just got to make sure you rebattle them and stuff, because they will offer you battles in there. So make sure you rebattle them and just interact with all of them, because you can actually have a lot of conversations with them in the league room, which will trigger little small events and small conversations to happen. So definitely talk to them. We also have Amaris, who will specifically give you her Skarmory. That's pretty clean. After her, though, you also have this fella. It is Lacey, and Lacey will give you a Snubble. So same thing there. Just make sure to invite them 3 times, interact with them, and that's that. And Drayton, of course, going to give you specifically the Duraludon. So, yep, nothing too crazy there. We kind of expected that one. Finally, of course, you have Carmen. She will actually give you her counterfeit Poltergeist, which is pretty cool. And also, you have none else than Kieran, who will give you his Applin. So that's pretty clean. And finishing it all off, the final person, and the person that will only show up once you've battled and fully invited and completed everybody else, right? And once you've done all of that, and also you've made sure to invite him from the computer, you will get Serrano. He is the secret boss, and he will give you a shiny Blitzel. Yes, he will actually hand over a shiny Blitzel to you, which is pretty freaking sick. Like, very good in my opinion, and pretty awesome. So that's pretty much that. That summarizes the list. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comment section down below, but I think that pretty much explains that. Again, there are a little bit of a kind of vague details for how certain characters are unlocked, but I would highly recommend make sure you completed the post game in the main game and all that sort of stuff, and make sure you've actually talked to all the teachers to make them actually spawn, and just try to make sure to invite them all 3 times, get the trade Pokemon at that point, and then you can move on. So do them one by one. Maybe do the gym leaders all like one by one, like, you know, invite 2, do a 1 battle with each of them, then invite another 2, do a battle with each of them, and then do that like 3 times in a row until they all come back the 3rd time, when you can offer them the actual trade, or they will offer you the trade directly. So just please make sure to do that, because this is a bit of a complicated quest, but nonetheless, though, you can get a lot of cool trade Pokemon. This is a lot of trade Pokemon, actually, if you really think about it. Like, just literally counting them all, you easily run up to about like 26 characters, man. That's a lot. Actually, even more than that. 26, 27, 27, yeah, 28, 29, 30. That's literally 30 of them. So there's a lot of them to get. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Thank you all for watching. I want to thank you guys for coming through. And also, just thank you for the support in the videos. I know maybe some of you guys are watching this who have never even seen the channel before, but I've been getting a lot of support lately, so I appreciate it. Peace out.